going to begin this hour, though, with the United States and the reopening of 4 legal southern border crossings with Mexico tomorrow. And today, House Speaker Mike Johnson and other Republican lawmakers will be traveling there for a first-hand look at the ongoing migrant crisis. Illegal crossings have decreased since the number of migrants arrived in the United States in December.
CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now from Eagle Pass, Texas. Eagle Pass has been kind of like the central location dealing with a major influx of migrants. What can we expect from lawmakers' visit today? What are they going to be doing?
Good morning, Anne-Marie and Vlad. Speaker Mike Johnson and other House Republicans joining him here in Eagle Pass, Texas, will certainly try to make the case that the Biden administration is failing to secure the U.S. Mexico border and failing to deter migrants from crossing the Rio Grande just right behind me. Well, you can't really see it because of the fog, but it is right behind me, I can promise you that. And they will also probably call for tougher immigration laws. And that's key right now, because right now, the Senate is negotiating with the Biden administration, the White House, over a potential deal on border security changes, which Republicans have demanded, Anne-Marie and Vlad, in exchange for them supporting additional military aid to Ukraine. And Speaker Johnson and other House Republicans, also in the Senate as well, have said that they will not approve any deal that does not include drastic limits on asylum and other sweeping, strict border restrictions. And so this will continue to be an issue, not just politically, but also policy-wise in Washington, D.C. I do have to underscore, Anne-Marie and Vlad, however, that the situation that lawmakers will see here in Eagle Pass today is dramatically different than 2 weeks ago when I was last here. Upwards of 10,000 people were crossing each day when I was last here before Christmas. That number dropped to 2,500 on Monday.
All right, so talk to us about the impact of these 4 border reopenings tomorrow.
This is very important news, Vlad, for U.S. border communities like Eagle Pass, Texas, and Mexican communities like Piedras Negras right behind me. They really rely on cross-border trade, tourism, and travel for their economies. And so this is a welcome news here in this sector of the border. Customs and Border Protection had partially suspended processing at 4 ports of entry across the entire border to reroute agents to process migrants here on the field when there was that sharp increase in crossings. But U.S. officials, Vlad, told us that they do not need to suspend processing at these legal ports because the Mexican government has stepped up enforcement in the interior of Mexico, deporting migrants to southern Mexico near the Guatemala-Mexico border, and also deporting some migrants back to Venezuela. U.S. officials say that those efforts have helped to decongest the U.S. border and that they do not need to suspend legal travel anymore.
I want to ask you about this controversial law that Texas passed, giving state authorities the ability to arrest people that they believe crossed into the U.S. Illegally. Today's the deadline that the Justice Department has given Texas to assure federal officials that it would not allow a law that empowered state officials to arrest and prosecute migrants suspected of unlawfully entering the U.S. Immigration is a federally mandated or federally, what's the word I'm looking for, Vlad?
Federally
regulated.
Mandated,
Thank you. Got it in my ear. Regularly regulated. It's not the responsibility of the state. What is the latest on this brewing legal clash?
No, you're completely right, Anne-Marie. The Justice Department has given Texas until today to say that it will abandon plans to enforce this far-reaching immigration law as planned in March. This law, as you mentioned, will not only allow the state to prosecute, jail, and arrest migrants on state criminal charges of crossing the border illegally, but it will also allow state judges to effectively issue deportation orders, even though the Mexican government has said that they will reject returns from the state of Texas. The Justice Department will likely sue the state of Texas over this policy, so we should expect this to become the latest legal clash between the Biden administration and Texas Governor Greg Abbott. As you both know, the two sides have been already feuding over other controversial initiatives that the governor has taken, including the effort to bus tens of thousands of migrants to Democratic-led cities, including New York City, Denver, and Chicago.
All right, Camilo, thank you very much.